Yeah, Nigel, it's something that we're continually harping on with Nigel, to keep on stepping up, keep on being a leader, because he has that in him. Players like him. You know, he's a likable guy, and he's a good football player. He needs to be, you know, we're constantly pushing him to be better and better as a leader.
Have you seen it grow?
Yes, absolutely. And, again, we just need more.
Coach, Terrence Brooks, I guess, is coming off a good spring. How does he factor into maybe your plans in the secondary?
Terrence is doing a very good job. I tell you, he's improved. He's a versatile guy, and he's a very athletic safety. So I like what he's doing, and he's continuously improving. So he'll be in the mix there somewhere.
Does he factor in at all, maybe as a nickel or safety?
Oh yeah, he'll factor in. There's a lot of guys competing for spots, and he's right in there. Yeah, Greg got better. I think I think we got better as a defense. I think Greg got better as the year went on. He's carried that over this year. He's been much more consistent, and that's a big thing we're talking about as a defense, being more consistent. You know, we don't want to have too many peaks and valleys. We want to be good all the time, and I feel like Greg has certainly bought into that.
Mark, did you learn anything about your brother that you didn't know last year's game?
No, did not learn anything I didn't know. I think I knew everything, and so.
How does that result? And I know I'm skipping two games, but how does that result in game carry over to helping FSU on September 17th? How does that result in that game carry over to helping you guys prepare for this one?
Well, I think it helped us in that I think we knew we're not quite prepared for that test a year ago, and we weren't quite prepared for that environment and the speed of that game, and I think we learned from it. We got better as the year went on last year. I think some of the areas that we were exposed at in that game, we improved as the year went on, and really weren't too much of a problem as the year went on. So if we continue to correct our mistakes and get better, then we'll have a better chance.
So that loss last year may have been important to this program as any win.
Well, I believe defensively that game was definitely a turning point for us. You know, and I believe our guys understood a little bit more clear exactly how sharp you need to be to win at that level.
Obviously with your brother, everybody talks about that. Did that sting you more because of that?
No, it didn't sting me more because of that. Like any loss in that fashion, you don't feel real good. No matter who's delivering the butt kick, and you don't feel real good about it. So, I was just, more than anything, a little bit disappointed the way we played.
I think last year when we did all the talk to people, members of your family, everybody was kind of like not looking forward to it. Even maybe you and Bob, as far as just. So this year, with all that pass, is it going to be a little bit easier to play this game from a family, personal standpoint?
Well, I think the way we feel when people ask us that question is it fun, or do you look forward to it? No, because we root for each other to win.
Right.
When the time comes, we will be prepared and we'll compete to win and to have our guys prepared, and that won't be any problem for either of us.
The stakes are a little higher.
But I think what we understand as coaches and as a family is what we put into this thing to win. So, we prefer to root for each other to win. But on that day, it'll, like I said, it'll be easy to go do our jobs and do the best we can.
At what point when you were here did you realize how special Brendan Jenkins could be?
Well, I felt, last year going into the year, we were a little bit uncertain of what we had at D-line, and I was encouraged by the way they improved as the year went on, and certainly with the way Brandon improved.
How about the depth of the defensive line? It looks like, especially coming in this year, the way they're talking about a couple of freshmen.
It felt better, about the depth. Obviously, just how it is the first year in the program. Just a little bit unsure of what you have. And again, the D-line feel good about the depth, feel good about the additions, and feel like we're bigger and stronger. So, as you have to be great up front if you want to be a great defense.
DJ Manuel mentioned kind of Timmy Jernigan as a guy that stood out a little bit.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say that's fair. For the young guys, if you want to single out one that's impressed, Timmy's done a great job, and he certainly looks like he's everything he was built up to be.
Well, what has stood out about him so far, maybe?
He's just a strong, explosive player. He does not look uncomfortable out there. there. He feels like he belongs, and I think sometimes certain positions are easier to play as a young guy than others. And so Timmy's got the ability and the maturity. It seems like he can help us.
And your history of great defensive ends, playing against, coaching against, and coaching for. Where does Brand? How does he stack up? What does he need to do? He's only played one full season, I guess. So what does he need to do to get there? And then how good can he be?
I really believe this, and again, it's not just a simple little cliche, but I mean, if he continues to get better, and he's a little bit bigger, if he continues to be a little bit stronger, play better in the run game, and have the same production he did in the past game, then things will take care of itself. He's just like anybody else. He's got to keep on working to get better, and great things are ahead of him.
Is it instinct and athletic ability that makes him right now better at rushing passer than stopping the run?
Yes, I think he has the athletic ability. He has loose hips. He has a great first step, but certainly instincts are a big part of it that people don't talk about a lot. When we talk about just good football players, it doesn't matter what position. He's got great instincts, a great feel for the game.
And just translate that into the running game. What do you do?
Oh, well, he will. He will. I think just understanding it, being a little stouter, being a little stronger, he'll take it.
Coach Fisher's talked a lot about how the linebackers cross-train and the defensive backs cross-train and the safeties are interchangeable.
Yep.
Is that a function of like a new defense? Like, is that something new that defenses?
No, I think that's been around for a while. I think most people are fairly versatile. Certainly as you get more comfortable in the program, the guys that have been around a little bit more in the program should be able to, mix and match a little bit there.
Why is it important? Just in terms
well, because of depth. You want to, the object is for us to get the 11 best players on the field. So, it's not necessarily just, a depth chart at Sam, Mike, or Will, or anywhere else. It's our job to get the best players on the field.
Has there been sort of a move towards speed and the fact that Telvin Smith looks like you move Joyner over to safety? I mean, those look like sort of a couple speed moves. I mean, is you trying to go that way?
Well, speed is very important, but if you look at us, actually, we're getting bigger. So I think we want to be big, fast, and strong. So we certainly want to be big and strong up front. I think if you are big and strong up front, in the middle linebacker position, he's on some matchups sometimes. He has to be very athletic. So, so I think you want a nice combination there is what you want. But again, it gets back to your best players.
Coach, what do you mean? You said the Oklahoma game last year, you guys weren't quite ready for the speed of the game. What does that mean?
We just weren't quite ready. I mean, whether it be for whatever reason, whether it was coaching, we didn't coach him good enough. We didn't have him in the right position. We weren't, we didn't have a great enough understanding of what we were trying to teach, and the system, and it just failed. Obviously, you beat like that, it wasn't good. There's no excuses. It just didn't play good.
When you're playing your brother's team, do you guys talk less during the off season about? I'm sure if you're not playing him, you're probably talking football strategy.
Yes, yes, it is. That's